Hello and welcome to the first video update for the Kickstarter project, Smells Like D&D. I'm Chris, your friendly neighborhood drunk DM, and I'll be your guide, so sit back, grab a drink, and let's get to it. Quick disclaimer before we begin, that is a gin and tonic on the table there, waiting for me. A reward, if you will, for a job well done. As I'll be using a few tools and an air compressor, drinking right now is no bueno. It's important to drink responsibly and never ever drink and dice. In here we have a pressure pot tank for paint spraying, and we're going to be converting that for pressure casting resin and getting the clearest dice possible. To do this, I've got a couple of extra bits and pieces here. I've got some air compressor quick release fittings, a 3/8 inch cap, here's a 1/4 inch plug, some spanners, and some PTFE tape. Let's grab my craft knife and open this sucker up. During filming, I didn't realize the mic would pick up my girlfriend's music in the other room, so none of the audio was usable. I'm narrating this in post, so sorry if some of my hand gestures don't quite match up with what I'm saying and seem out of sync. It's heavy, so hopefully that's a good sign. With any luck, that means the vessel has some pretty thick walls and it's going to be able to stand up to the pressure we're putting it under. There's a handle in the box that looks like it just screws onto the lid there. There are quite a few conversion how-to videos out there on YouTube that'll tell you to remove this and replace that, but my aim is to complete this project with as little effort as possible. Here we've got the pipe that the paint would travel up during normal use. Well, that's gonna have to go so that I've got more room to stack molds in the pot. We've got a couple of extra accessories in here. Air hose, spray nozzle, and such. We don't need any of that, so that's going to go on eBay. And in here we've got a piece we're going to keep. We've got a pressure regulator, which already has a pressure gauge on it. It reads both PSI and bar, so yep, I'm keeping that. We've got a quick release pot here, but it's the wrong size, so we're going to remove that and plug the hole. Got a 1/4 inch ball valve, which we're going to add our own quick release fitting to. As you can see, the one that came already installed is wider and shorter compared to the British one. Okay, so first couple of steps to get the lid how we want it. We're going to be removing this pipe, and then we're going to block this outlet by taking our 3/8 inch cap and sticking that on there. The glue that they've used to attach this pipe is ridiculously strong, so to get this off you're going to either need a table vise or, like me, a pipe wrench. And in true Blue Peter fashion, I loosened it earlier, so I can just unscrew it now. I don't need this pipe or anything, so we're just going to yeet that into the bin. Now to cap this hole. To make sure we've got really snug, leak-proof connections, I'm going to be adding PTFE tape to all of the fittings. I'm going to speed this part up, or this video could drag on for quite a while. One thing I learned while doing this is to always apply the tape following the direction of the threads, otherwise when you're screwing it in you end up removing the tape at the same time. Okay, first part's all taped up and the cap is now on. Let's install the handle. Oh wait, that's just gonna get in the way. We'll do that last. And now for the second stage, let's remove that janky air fitting and add some tape to my plug and seal that hole. Now that that's done, let's quickly add my quick release fitting to the ball valve. Again, adding some tape to the threading, and with all that done, we can install that onto our lid. Now it's time to add our handle, and we're done. Oops, that's loose. I'm gonna have to tighten that up in a sec. It's shortly after this point that I realized the air compressor, hose, and other accessories I bought all have European fittings, so they won't latch on to the quick release fitting I just installed. If the audio was usable before, it definitely wouldn't be now without a lot of bleeping out, so I take that gin and tonic and down the sweet, bitter taste of defeat while I do some quick online shopping. Day 2, and thanks to Amazon Prime and next day delivery, we're ready to try again. You can see here I've replaced the quick release fitting with a European one, which is ever so slightly shorter, which the hose to my air compressor will now actually connect to. So we're going to pressurize this baby and come back to it. A couple hours later, and all the air is leaked out of the pot. So I've got some water and dish soap here, which I've taken and sprayed on all of the fittings, looking out for any bubbles which would indicate a leak, and found one here at this plug. So I've taken that plug out, added some more tape, and we're ready to try again. We're going to connect to the air compressor and fill it up till we reach about 40 psi, as this is just above what we're going to be pressurizing our dice at, and we'll be back to check on it again later. 24 hours later, and as you can see, I've decorated my pot a bit with some stickers. Bonus points if you can not so subtly tell what class I choose to roleplay as when playing D&D, but most importantly, it's still holding at 40 psi, so we're good to go. Let's start making some dice.